Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays Community Remix. This is the new version of Community Remix. Why did Community Remix go away for a while? Well, there was no updates, for one. Not that I'd seen everything that there was to see in the other ones, but I didn't want to set up seeded runs to get absolutely everything, because then that kind of defeats the purpose of the randomness and the nature of that, doesn't it? I think it does. But additionally, the website was down for a little while, and there's a new website now. I don't necessarily want to link to it because I don't know if it's the permanent website. You can find it for yourself on the subreddit though. But what's neat about 1.3.2 is that there is a new character. I'm super late to the party, but this is Adam, and this is my first run with Adam. So I pretty much have no GD idea what's going on here. Starts with 2 HP. Let's take a look at the stats screen. A little bit confused about that whole damage thing. They're constantly scrolling up there. High speed. And we start with this item, the apple. Half red, half white. What does it do? Damage mode. Oh, okay. So if it's two sides of the same coin here, I'm gonna guess that one of those apple things allows us to get higher damage, lower rate of fire, and one of them allows us to get higher rate of fire, lower damage. Tier raid mode. Yeah, okay, I get it. Are there other options? Oh, so it's just a binary thing where you switch back and forth between high rate of fire and high damage. That's very interesting. I have no inkling right now of how I would make this work. Like how I would strategically switch between them. But this is a super cool idea, and I look forward to seeing how it works out in the future. I guess what I'm thinking right now, just to, you know, off the top of my dome. Well, first off, let's try not to die here. But is if I got an item that really drastically lowered rate of fire by giving us a lot of damage, like Polyphemus, for example, then I would switch to fire raid mode so that I could, you know, compensate for that. And similarly, if I got something like Mom's Knife, which is a little bit different, I would probably go to damage mode because the fire rate wouldn't matter in the least. Is my hunch, at least. I will check out our curse room here. This obviously puts us very close to death. I would like to not die, but if we die on the first floor, we'll just restart now that I know what's up here. We're not gonna die. We might die on the second floor if we don't get any red hearts, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Sacrificial dagger is an absolutely acceptable item, I would say. Wish that oh, there's the HP, thank God. Wish that we had some reroll ability here, but this is okay. Alright, it's an unusual item. It's novel. I like the idea. I think the idea is something that I've never seen before in Isaac, and I look forward to finding out how to actually make it work. I'm going to be skipping Cat o' Nine Tails just because, well, I mean, it's Cat o' Nine Tails. So I think for now... Oh, you know, another reason you might want to switch is go for high damage, low rate of fire on, like, the Isaac fight. That makes a lot of sense. And Blue Baby. But yeah, we'll you know, tackle those more relevant situations when they come. If they ever come now. Anyway, we're fine as long as we can get some keys. I don't know, this might affect the way I kind of approach deals with the devil as well. But we'll see, there's only one way to find out. For now, Larry Jr., I think high rate of fire is kind of like, it's the default better mode, but I wonder if this is actually like a matter of personal taste. Like, I assume that it's calculated so that the DPS, if you hit every shot consistently, is nearly equal. By the way, he seems really strong right off the bat. I will say that. Like, more DPS than maybe any other character. So we have 9 lives and 2 spooky. I mean, it would be sweet to become Guppy because we could generate so many flies with our fire rate mode, but I think we're gonna have to skip it. And this is meaning likely we're gonna have to deal with deals with the angel. Oh well. I don't know why we have a 3 Spirit Heart deal in there. That seems kind of, surprising, shall we say, considering that I haven't had any Spirit Hearts over the course of the entire run. But anyway. Yeah, I assume that the way that the game is, or the way that the mod is set for Adam is that the damage mode and the fire rate mode have the same DPS, otherwise, you know, you would probably just prefer to go with the one with higher DPS. We'll take Rage for sure. I don't know if this necessarily affects which one I would like to choose, and, you know, if you're tired of hearing me already talk about the metagame of what kind of fire rate we're going to choose, well, sorry to inform you that that's probably not going to change anytime soon over the course of this episode, considering this is the main novelty here. I really doubt we're going to be able to do anything else on this floor, but I'm pretty excited about this run in general. This is it's a cool character. I wish that there were more items like this in Isaac or in Rebirth, as the case may or may not be. I like this kind of like toggle on, toggle off stuff. I can't think of another item in Isaac that's actually like this. The problem, of course, is that the only way to actually interact is by having it as a spacebar item, which means that it has to take up a spacebar item slot. But I think in this case, it's actually, because it's a novel character, it's kind of cool. So we can't even get that Tinted Rock. Let's not worry about it too much. We could go back and take 9 lives if we wanted to. Do we really want to? I don't think so. I think I'm content just kind of tackling this run in the old-fashioned way. Alright, let's just... The shots were occasionally hitting there, which is good enough for me. I really thought that might find a secret room, but no such luck. By the way, I intend to continue playing Community Remix as long as the updates keep coming out until, at the very least, the release of Rebirth, which it might be sneaking up on you. Every time I tweet about it, people go, oh, I had no idea it was coming so soon. Yeah, Rebirth, I mean, this episode's probably going to go up on a Wednesday. That'll mean that it's like 2 weeks and 6 days until Rebirth comes out, I think, if my math is correct. That's pretty darn soon, you know, considering we've been waiting for the game for like 3 freaking years. So I'm excited. And, you know, it's really closing in. It's dawning on me that there will come a point within the next few weeks where I will record what is the last, at least intended to be the last episode of the Vanilla Binding of Isaac Let's Play. By the way, thank you to everyone who's, I mean, over the course of the years that I've been doing it, shown support on it. But also, this is not Community Remix relevant, but it's very, very unlikely I'm going to get to 1,000 vanilla episodes. And it's really kind of, I'm not trying to say, oh, poor me, but it's really kind of shitty to see people that are like, dude, stop playing other games, just get to 1,000 in Vanilla Isaac. And I'm like, really? Like 1,000 just because it's a round number has some kind of sentimental feel to it. I would rather just, you know, focus on pretty much keep doing what I'm doing. And if it ends at 985, man, that's 985 freaking episodes. That's like, what, 1.5% short of 1,000? I think that's an accomplishment that is still pretty meaningful. So again, thank you to everyone who's shown support in the series. And, you know, just be conscious of the fact that when you say, like, oh, are you going to get to 1,000? Like, sure, I could pump out a bunch of episodes to get to 1,000. I don't think the episodes would even be worse quality, but do we really need 15 more Isaac episodes over the course of the next month than we would otherwise have? I'm going to go ahead and say that probably not. And the other thing is I'm pretty sure that if I just pumped them out to get to 1,000, when I got to 1,000, it's not like I'm going to get a phone call from the Prime Minister of Canada or something that is like, congratulations on this amazing accomplishment. There's going to be, I'll get a tweet and it'll say, good job, you did it. Which, I mean, you know, there's value in that, but at the same time. Plus, if you take all the Isaac 101 and Community Remix and streaming stuff, we've done way more than 1,000. It's just a labeling issue here. Anyway, you should know if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know, how many times have you seen me do like a subscriber milestone episode? I don't put a lot of, I don't put too much sentimentality into those milestones, you know, like, 100,000 subscribers is nice. Is it nicer than 99,991 subscribers? Marginally, but for the most part, I'm just like, I think it's, I'm happy. I have low standards. Let's put it that way. I'm happy at a lot of different numbers. 985 is 98.5% as good as 1,000, in my opinion. Anyway, this run is shaping up to kind of become pretty terrible. We have no keys. No bombs, so no means with which to access a secret room, item room, or shop. And we're going to be heading down to the next floor. The last 2 items that we got... Well, no, not the last 2. But 2 of the 3 boss room items we've gotten so far have been soap, which is largely sort of meaningless, and Cat of Nine Tails, which we didn't even pick up. So things are not shaping up fantastically for our hero right now. But I think by virtue of the fact that we start with, you know, a little bit of a head start relative to other characters in the game, just by our incredibly high rate of fire, I think that there's still a lot of outs for us here. And if we play our cards right, F this room. If we play our cards right, which is looking like we're not going to, but assuming that we had, we could guarantee ourselves a deal with the Angel, potentially, and who knows, you know, you get the Relic and then you start having a good time. Well, the boss room is right there. We may actually have a decent chance. This Pestilence is not the easiest boss. You know, this version of Pestilence, for the most part, I actually kind of prefer. But it's a little bit situational. It depends on, you know, whether or not you can fly, because, you know, this one doesn't create the same kind of creep. Creates kind of a slowing creep. Our range is crazy, too. I'm not sure what's up with that. Did we... Oh, maybe that's a soap thing. I looked up soap like the first time we got it, and I've never looked at it again. I am actually, like, a little disappointed with the fact that I seem completely incapable of killing these spiders in any length of time. Come on, jump straight at me, thank you. We're about 50% of the way through. Now we gotta deal with the easy spiders, who are actually gonna get one shot. Okay, this is where we make our move, potentially. Come on, spider bro. Alright. This is big, because we didn't lose any red hearts, so we should have nearly 100% deal with the devil chance. Maybe even over 100% deal with the devil chance. Well, never mind. We get a cube of meat, which is what we knew we were going to get, but still kind of frustrating. So, I don't think we're at any major risk of death in all likelihood. So I'm going to take this time to gamble, and yes, it's going to put us a little close to the Grim Reaper here, but seasons don't fear the Reaper. It's the wind and the sun and the rain or some shit like that. I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 70s, so I'm not sure what they're talking about. But it seemed very relevant at the time, I'm sure. Let's take this pill. I'm happy with that. Could have been worse. And, you know, if you have a good pill, or a good or neutral pill, it's all good, man, because you've gained some information in addition to the actual benefit, even if there is no benefit. You've gained some information. It's important. Now, we do have 3 bombs, which means there is a, you know, theoretical chance that we could actually get our way into our item room via the secret room here. Sorry if you're hearing some noises in the background. I'm just tinkering with my fan a little bit. There it goes. It's, you know, that weird time of the year where it's hot enough to have the heat on sometimes, but like just a little bit, not a lot. But occasionally also gets, or sorry, it's cool enough to have the heat on occasionally, but is also hot enough like during the midday hours to get the fan going. It's that weird part of Canadian fall, I'd say. Well, you know, very different. People are always like, hey, Canada must be freezing up there. Yes, in the most parts of the country, that is indeed the case. Even the inhabited parts, which are largely along the southern border, although there are people that live much further north than that, obviously. Yeah, that's it gets pretty cold. You know, the winters last for like at least 4 or 5 months, and you get a lot of snow. Vancouver, though, is basically like, oh, I'm gonna totally take Champion's Belt. Vancouver's kind of like San Francisco, I feel, and that, you know, it snows, I guess it snows a little bit more often in Vancouver than San Francisco, but it snows like 4 times a year, and it's usually like not the kind of snow that actually sticks around. And it kind of shuts things down, because people are like, what the hell is this, you know? I remember when I lived in South Korea, I lived in a city, like maybe one of the 2 or 3 cities in the whole country that it never snowed in, and it snowed like an inch on the ground, you know, a couple of centimeters. And people were like trying to sweep their restaurant, like the snow out from in front of their restaurants with brooms. Like snow shovels just didn't exist, and like, you know, people didn't know how to drive because of the snow, and kids were canceling their classes. And I was like, man, this is just like your normal Saturday in Canada. But hey, different climates, right? We can't do anything about that. But Vancouver is the city that, like, when I was flying back to my hometown, which is in Ontario, from Vancouver, it was like, you know, they have the CBC, which is like our national news program, on, and it was like, you know, blizzards all across the country, and then they showed like the weather map, and, you know, it's all like skulls and crossbones on the Doppler radar over every other city, and then Vancouver is like the sun with the sunglasses on with like a thumbs up and a pina colada. You know, it's not always incredible weather. It's not resort weather here, but it's just like consistently mild, which is awesome. Except it rains a lot. But you know what? I think, you know, there's 2 kinds of people in the world. People who are okay with that and people who are not okay with that. I mean, when you set up that false kind of, you know, dilemma, of course there's only 2 kinds of people in the world. But anyway, hopefully you get the idea. Like, when my parents come to Vancouver, they're like, I don't know how you could live here. It rains all the time. And I'm like, man, you should come here in December. Like, you leave minus 20 Celsius, which is probably, I guess, pretty close to minus 20 Fahrenheit. Like, leave that weather and come here where it's like 0, and you will be like, man, why would I ever live anywhere else? Apart from the soul-crushing cost of living. We're done with this floor. I'd say this floor turned out okay. Obviously could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse as well. We did get to go where we wanted to go. I think we're just gonna leave now. Even though we could try to get to the secret room. Yeah, we're gonna go. And I wouldn't hold out the highest hopes for this run, especially since it's, well, Daddy Longlegs is sweet, but especially because it looks like we're not going to have a very good chance of getting a deal with the devil on this floor, for what I assume are obvious reasons, but if they're not, for whatever reason, you know, you need a card, basically, or a pill, a way to teleport out of that mom fight in order to get a, chance at a deal with the devil/angel on this floor. Or a Joker card, which is not that unlikely considering we have Ace of Spades. Now, we have slightly higher damage thanks to Champion's Belts. We have Daddy Longlegs, which is not, you know, a damage upgrade, but helps us do more damage. So I love it, even though it's kind of semi-useless on the late-game boss fights. And we have a nice suite of orbitals here. But what I'm really sad about is the fact that we haven't really improved our damage very much. We haven't improved our rate of fire very much, if at all. Except for the apple item, of course. And, yeah, like, almost all of our boss items have been kind of bad. But I think the reason we're still alive and doing relatively well right now is not a testament to my own skill in Isaac. It's a testament to the fact that Adam starts out very strong. Now, this is my first run, and I'm not very far into it, so I remember when I thought that Maggie was the best character in the game. She starts with 4 health. What could possibly be better, right? So there might be a lot of learning for me left to do before I figure out where Adam would rank in a hypothetical tier list, but he seems to start extraordinarily powerful relative to the norm. Alright, let's try not to lose our... Oh my god, I'm a little faster than I anticipated. Trying not to lose my spirit hearts, because there is still a small chance that we can make this... You know, we could swing this. Come on, Daddy Longlegs. I know these enemies are pretty mobile, but just, you know, pop down. Ooh, that was a little scary. That's the problem with Daddy Longlegs, is that if you're encountering enemies that don't stand nearly still or move slowly, like, you're shit out of luck, basically. Because Daddy Longlegs has some of the worst tracking in the whole game. I think it's like the same AI that dictates, like, Dead Bird, which is not a compliment. So I think we're gonna put a bomb down here, maybe find second secret room. And we are going to play the Judgment, even though I want to get money for the shop, just because it's so early that I think we can do it. And assuming he pays out in a reasonably normal amount of time for Judgment, plus we got the Fool card, we should be able to get our finances back, especially if we can get a blood bank later on the floor. And there's HP, so that's only the second HP we've gotten over the course of this run. I feel pretty good about that. I feel really terrible about this, but that's just, you know, par for the course here. Golden Key. Extremely useful. Yeah, we took some red heart damage, so that's not great. But I hate that room, so I don't feel so bad about it. I mean, that Eternal Heart, or sorry, that Spirit Heart is not crazy useful right now, but whatever, it's fine. We'll get the High Priestess card on our way out. Kind of looks like Champion's Belt, the rocks there. We should have put the bomb on the other side. These things, you know, they're unlikely to make a big difference, but it's still... There's our money back, but it's still worth doing in any case. Just to give yourself the best chance, you know. Isaac, rarely is Isaac like, hey guys, I got mom's knife in one. It does happen, and, you know, it's not the rarest thing in the world. But most of the time, Isaac victories are a collection of, like, good decisions. And decisions don't always pan out, but if you do enough of them, the odds that enough of them will pan out to win the game for you, it goes up, you know? The more good decisions you make, the better you're likely to win. Or the better your run is likely to be, I should say. Thank you, Daddy Longlegs. Finally lands a decent shot. Our damage is, like, kind of piss poor, but I still prefer... This is like, this is a test of who you are, right? Do you prefer high damage, low rate of fire, or high rate of fire, lowish damage? And I guess I'm kind of the rate of fire category. Maybe because my accuracy is bad, so, to be able to fire constantly is more meaningful for me. More valuable to me, I should say. Another half Spirit Heart. We definitely do not want... Well, Hanged Man could be okay, but we definitely do not want that Notched Axe. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That doesn't matter. Alright, I accidentally switched our tier mode. So I paid 5 cents for a bomb via the Hanged Man. That's not a good deal, but whatever. We may come back later for this Spirit Heart. I wouldn't mind. This is a strangely linear Depths XL. Like, we haven't really reached like a hub world or anything like that. It's just consistently been kind of walking, which I prefer, honestly, because it takes the guesswork out of it. But at the same time, if I could just, you know, start to get a little closer to the boss room, I'd feel better. I don't see an out for us on this run. But, I mean, there are outs, but I don't see a likely out for us anytime soon. But I could be wrong. Maybe there's some sweet synergy that I've never considered before. Balls of Steel's pretty nice. Some sweet synergy that I've never considered before because I've never played as this character. And I will end up eating my words. Of course, there's always the chance that we get that one, you know, magical item. Pretty Fly is really nice. Full suite of orbitals now. Little surprised that we still continue to just pretty much be on a linear floor. Again, I'm not really complaining. It's a positive thing. That's another Pretty Fly, which it doesn't really matter whether we take it or not. Eternity. Does this not take us to the second secret room? No, it just gives us an Eternal Heart. Okay, I got that confused with a different one, and I forgot what it was. And of course, now I'm going to lose that Eternal Heart playing this Demon Judgment. So that's very smart play on my part. There could have been an arcade too, but you know, that's the thing with these like red cards is that I just don't know what they do. It's not like I picked up an Eternal Heart. I know people are gonna say, oh, well, it said Eternity, so you know, that's what it's gonna do for you. It's gonna give you an Eternal Heart. What are you, an idiot? You gotta test these things in Isaac. Rusted Key, doesn't that give you more keys? Like, are you an idiot? No, okay, maybe intentionally that's what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't freaking work, right? Isaac's all about testing and retesting and then drawing a conclusion and then having people make fun of you for your conclusion and then eventually say that you're wrong and then, oh, wait, no, one person dissents and says that you're actually right, suck on that, and then it turns out that person gets discredited and don't know what they're talking about because they drew information from a wiki that's out of date. It's all horse hockey, man. So we do have some kind of division in where we can actually go here. I am absolutely going to use 2 bombs to pick up these keys. Why? Because keys are way more valuable than bombs. At this point in the game, at least, I'd say. So we are going to lose the Eternal Heart to play the Demon Judgment and possibly this Blood Bank as well. I think it's the right play, especially because we have 2 things that could suck up red hearts and give us pretty enormous benefits out of each one. So I think it's a reasonably intelligent play on our part. I don't want to say my part because I didn't really, you know, I didn't draw up the layout for this floor. I'm just kind of a passenger here. I ride and I ride. We will put a bomb down here. It's a bad play. Suboptimal, at least, because there could just be like a live bomb that spawned there, but whatever. Money we're unlikely to need, but we'll probably use because we're going to be gambling anyway. That was the worst use of a bomb. And these guys are going to be exactly the same speed, huh? Yeah, I appreciate that. So we can just wait for Daddy Longlegs to hopefully simplify the situation for us. The fact that it's not killing enemies in one hit blows my mind, but as long as it takes... You're not supposed to be able to reverse like that. As long as it takes out, you know, a couple of these enemies, our crowd control situation gets a lot simpler. And apparently the foot has to hit them in the back, which makes no damn sense. But okay. Live bomb, we'll stay away. Tarot card is High Priestess, which we can at least... We have 2 High Priestess cards. We might as well use one on our first boss fight. And take the Fool into our second boss fight. High Priestess is nothing but a you think I'm gonna say G-thing baby, but no, it's nothing but a good Daddy Longlegs, or a better Daddy Longlegs, because Daddy Longlegs, as much as I'm complaining, is actually pretty good in and of itself, but it helps when it actually, like, works, which it's having a hard time doing right now. There we go. Live bomb. I'm not really surprised that this floor is taking as long as it is, because it is, you know, Depths XL. I would like to discover some of the special rooms, though. I would also like to have the ability to fly. Like, it's been a little bit of a sore spot for me on this run, especially when you encounter a room that's like 90% creep, 90% weirdo, what the hell am I doing here, etc., etc. I don't need that nickel. If it was behind a lock, I'd pick it up for obvious reasons, but it's not. Alright, let's have some community remixy type items here. So I'm hoping we pick up Blood Oath at some point. Gives us super high damage. Then we completely nerf our rate of fire. Or sorry, then we completely go for this rate of fire option. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. I will sacrifice a Spirit Heart here. Bit of a dumb / risky play. It didn't pan out for us. You know, shit happens. Gish, if I could, like, seriously knock you out, more or less. Yeah, like even taking off half of your HP is super nice because Gish is pretty tanky. Not the tankiest enemy in the game, but tanky enough for me with like 0 damage to be annoying as heck. So I'm trying to like get in a position. That's all good. I was gonna say I'm trying to get in a position where I can actually use Sacrificial Dagger, but it's not that important in the whole scheme of things, I suppose. And this is our last, well, the last room we have to go to, and we want to go to, I guess I should say. And we get Infestation, which is terrible. But it's done. So now we're gonna take some time, and we're gonna min-max the stuff on the floor that we may never have access to again. This is the Fool card, this is the Fool card. We're gonna have a long walk on the way back here, by the way, so we'll enjoy it. I think we have an okay chance at getting a deal with the Devil. I would love to see it. Or Angel. Angel's fine too. I would prefer Devil, but we'll see. Yeah, there goes the Eternal Heart. One of the few things I'll never complain about in Isaac, at least not, like, really. And Ouija board. Not super psyched about that, but one of the things I'll only rarely complain about in Isaac is the way that Eternal Hearts work. I think it's a sweet balance to say, like, if you play Blood Bank, then you're gonna lose it. I think it's a smart idea. And you know what? I'm not gonna play the Blood Bank right now. I'm gonna go fight the boss first. Yeah, I might not play the Blood Bank at all, just because I worry that if I went down to the next floor, maybe it's XL, you know, Utero, and I only have 2 Spirit Hearts and a half Red Heart backing me up, I could conceivably F myself pretty hard. And as meaningful as the HP might be, you know, Red Hearts are worth a lot more when they're actually full. So let's see what we can get done on this fight. It's gonna be Blue Mom. It's gonna be annoying, but we had our flies do some decent damage already. I'm gonna be really trying to make sure that Sacrificial Dagger can get those rotations in when it can. Ooh. And when it can, that's gonna be like substantially useful for us. It might even be our #1 damage dealer over our tiers, weirdly enough. Alright, so far so good. We're like 80, yeah, we're done. Okay, that was really fast. We're gonna take the range upgrade because we have no choice. Fool card out. Long walk. It's gonna be a long walk back here. And this is a surprisingly unremarkable run for a character with such a cool gimmick. My mind was spinning with all sorts of cool ideas for what could happen, and then they all just sort of fell off the wayside here, right? We got a run that is very, very normal. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but it's pretty unremarkable. We got no shop items except for the Champion's Belt, which is incredibly disappointing. No map, no compass, Nun's Habit, etc., etc. Not that we would ever want to do anything with our D6, or sorry, with our apple anyway. Like, we don't benefit from that. But still, a little bit of a disappointment here. That's a pretty fly pill. I remember that very distinctly. But this deal with the D/A, that sounds like a line that a supervillain would have in a very overly ambitious pornography film. Get ready to deal with my D and or A. I don't know. He's got like a bifurcated urethra or something, and one part of it goes out through his bum. That's what I was thinking. You could call him the Viper. No special deal here. Well, we're gonna really, really hope for one on this floor then. We got the High Priestess card to kind of help us along here, but I'm a little bit underwhelmed. It's not Community Remix's fault, nor is it even Adam's fault. Really just kind of bad luck on the RNG for item generation. I'm having a good time regardless, but I haven't really had anything that's made me want to change the tier effect. I kind of want to do it just for fun. Wonder if there's like a better way to use it. Like if I'm not conceiving of like something, like hit him 3 times with the... It's new music, I think. Hit him like 3 times with the big tiers and then follow up with like some, you know, amuse-bouches at the end, basically. We seem to also be a lot slower when I do this. I wonder if it just gives you like fat odd mushrooms versus skinny odd mushrooms or something like that. Minus the health. Let's see, do I get faster? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Good to know. So there's another reason that you might want to use it. You know, your speed changes. Not the best room to use Chariot on, but probably not the worst room to use Chariot on either. Hey, that shot actually landed. Bombs are key. It's not great, but it could be worse. See, for example, this is a room where I would probably rather have the high speed upgrade than have the high damage. So I'm starting to think of it, at least on this particular run, as less of a toggle from a damage perspective, more of a toggle for a speed perspective. Oh, that was dumb. But when you're dealing with fast enemies, you probably want to have the ability to get out of there. When you're dealing with slow enemies, maybe you have a little bit more freedom to use the low rate of fire, high damage, low speed. For now, though, I'm kind of hoping that we'll be freed from this prison by getting a high damage upgrade at some point that'll allow me to make creative use of the apple. For now, we have not found that, though. Now, we got no item room to look for. Ruka, it's okay, buddy. No item room to look for. No shop to look for. We could get a library. Woe is me. My me is like, whoa. Who's saying that? I've got this... My brain is just full of all these references I'm never going to use in my entire life. But there's a song from my adolescence or my teenage years, and I'm pretty sure that it was like, just different parts of my body are like, whoa. So it'd be like, my ass is like, whoa. My chest is like, whoa. And now I'm like, whoa. That is brazen. Also, what does that even mean? It's like Cisco, dumps like a truck, truck, truck. Guy's like, what? What did you say? What? Like, that could mean anything. Maybe she's got, like, some crazy physical deformity. Maybe she's half robot. I'd be like, whoa. That lady's half robot. Let's try High Priestess. It worked as intended, as you can see. As usual. We should have a pretty darn great chance at getting a deal with the special people here. Well, that didn't really work. Daddy Longlegs, you know, got his there, though. Not that time. Come on. There we go. And we did get a deal with the devil. Please just be something worth talking about. Okay, so the pact is great. Raises our rate of fire and our speed, so we can actually maybe say, hey, let's roll with damage mode now. At least this is somewhat interesting. Wait, does the pact raise your speed, or is it the mark that raises your speed? Because I still feel like I'm, quite sluggish here. Good use of the toggle there, I'd say, to get out of the way of that. Multiple ways to kill that doppelganger without actually putting ourselves in harm's way. I don't know about this one. Well, they're slowed with Little Gish. I think the high damage is okay. When they're not slowed, I think we maybe have to get a move on. Now remember, it might look like we're in an okay position right now, but we have to do normal Isaac stuff. You know, we have to beat the cathedral and the chest, but we also have to beat Sheol. And that's just enough difference and extra difficulty to oftentimes throw the run off a little bit. And I mean that sincerely. I oftentimes find myself thinking on Community Remix that, like, oh, this run's good. This speed toggle is actually really useful. Like, this run's good. I think we're in the clear, and then I realize that I have to go to Sheol, and all of a sudden, like, I've got too few hearts required to actually make it work. So I'm starting to get a newfound appreciation for the apple here as a speed toggle. I'm using it not just for novelty's sake. There have been some useful situations that I've derived from it, you know. Maybe it's actually better DPS when you're in the damage mode, but you got lower speed, because I seem like, or I feel like I'm doing crazy damage here. Sun card, very useful. Or maybe it's just a personal preference thing where when I have low damage, I'd prefer high rate of fire, and when I have high damage, I'd prefer even higher damage at the expense of rate of fire, or because we've augmented our rate of fire a little bit by picking up the pact. That could change it too. It's like, for example, right here, I want to roll with the speed because those turrets are annoying. Then we can switch to damage, drop a bomb down, and get ready for some football here. This is... oh, luckily we're fighting Monstro, because if that hadn't been Monstro, my crowd control bomb would have been absolutely terrible. This is actually shaping up okay, isn't it? Alright, Sacrificial Dagger did some really good stuff there. We're going to have permanent bombs. This might be a good opportunity for us to switch back to speed. Just a second here. But it doesn't look like that's going to be necessary. So the deal with the devil on Sheol, as many people have told me, or not on Sheol, but the deal with the devil on this fight, as many people have told me, is actually something that allows you to skip the cathedral on your way to the chest. So there is a benefit in it. Although I previously stated that there was not. Similarly, on this room, we're going to switch to speed because mobility is a little bit of an issue. I'm starting to feel like maybe we can pull this one out. We didn't take any damage at all on the last floor, as far as I know. Again, mobility a bit of an issue here. Also, let's talk about some of the synergies we have. You know, Little Gish makes it so that when we fire faster, we have more chances to slow, although I guess that doesn't actually apply because Little Gish probably fires at the same rate regardless, right? Another room where mobility is an issue. I mean, the truth is that mobility is an issue on a lot of rooms, so it's not like we're just running into some bad luck here. But against something like Isaac, we can probably go for damage. It'll lower our rate of fire, he won't shoot at us as much, and mobility is not as much of an issue because your dodges are normally just like half a step to either side. So yeah, this whole Adam metagame is kind of interesting here. See why Blink-182 wrote a song about it. We have enough keys to try this out. What's the other card that we have? The Sun. That's better than the Tower, I think. For about 1,000 reasons. Yo. Back the heck up, guys. Extra key makes up for the 2 that we spent to get a card that's not even any good. Again, this is a room. Well, this is a room where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Our mobility is important here. Our damage is important. And all of a sudden, I'm not feeling nearly as confident about our chances. I'm gonna sacrifice bombs for keys. I am now going to place a bomb down there. That didn't work. Now, we got some fine movements to make here, so let's slow ourselves down. Oh, the fly knocked it away. Come on, guys. That is way more reasonable to open. Wow. That was a lot of work and expense for not a whole lot of benefit there. This is a room where I would say that mobility is of a secondary importance to just getting our damage done, so... Just kind of hoping we'd blow up those rocks. There we go. So now... I'm gonna just focus on getting our fat DPS out there. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, now I'm starting to feel like this run doesn't have a chance. Now that I've actually started taking damage again, I'm not feeling nearly as confident as I was mere moments ago. I don't think this is a throw. I think I'm just oscillating back and forth. Why are we so slow? So I used our death card. We're going to save our sun card for reasons that I think are probably pretty obvious. This damage is actually bad. This is starting to feel like a throw. At the same time, if we make it through Isaac, I'll feel relatively good about this run because we didn't get carried at all. At all. Look, this HP, I traded away 2 HP on this entire run, and this is the HP that we have. 3 plus half a Spirit Heart. We didn't get any Spirit Heart generation items. We didn't get any, anything at all of that ilk. And for people wondering, you know, let's assume that we die here, which is not unlikely. We're going damage mode here because this is one of the rooms where I think it's most pertinent to do damage mode. But anyway, if we die here or we die soon after, I'll probably do another Adam run next, just because he's a new character. Let's try it out. But then we'll go back to some D6 action probably, or maybe some Kane action. We'll mix it up a little bit. I'm going to use the Sun card, which is necessary. And I think this run just didn't quite get enough to swing it, but my head is swimming with possibilities for how to actually make Adam work here. We could win this still. I just wouldn't consider it too likely. I'm very tempted to, like, as soon as he shoots those purple shots, like, switch into speed mode and then try to get away. But I think that is going to overload my brain, and I'll end up doing more harm than good. But also, you know, speed mode, let's get away. There we go. Now we'll go back to damage mode. Yeah, there we go. It had to happen. It was a fun run, though. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.